Welcome to this deep dive into contributing to medical research and also, everything going on with cervical cancer.
Right.
You've sent in a lot of interesting sources about volunteering for research and Cervical Cancer Awareness Month in January.
Right.
And of course, the HPV vaccine. Sounds like you're ready to get involved and make a difference. So let's jump in.
Yeah. It's really exciting to see so many opportunities for people to contribute to research from home.
Yeah.
It's opening up doors that weren't imaginable before.
Yeah, that was something that I noticed too. Like, it's no longer about geographical location or, fitting something into your busy schedule.
Right.
You can be on your couch and
Exactly.
contributing to groundbreaking research.
Exactly. Platforms like ReachBC are using algorithms to connect, with projects that really align with your interests.
Yeah.
You could be analyzing data,
Wow.
participating in virtual clinical trials,
Okay.
or even contributing to citizen science projects.
Citizen science. I've been
Yeah.
seeing a lot about that lately.
Yeah.
I was reading about one project where volunteers analyze images of cells to help train AI algorithms for cancer detection.
Wow.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, to think that anyone can contribute to such cutting-edge research.
It's democratizing research in a really remarkable way.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about online fundraising and awareness campaigns.
Right.
Your voice can make a difference in raising awareness and supporting vital research.
So many ways to get involved.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to think that we're not limited to those traditional research settings.
Yeah,
And we can all be a part of shaping the future of healthcare.
absolutely.
Speaking of shaping the future, January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month.
Right.
It's a global effort to reach the WHO's 90-70-90 targets for elimination by 2030.
Right.
Those numbers sound pretty ambitious.
They are.
So what do those numbers mean?
So the 70-90 targets aim for 90% HPV vaccination in girls by age 15.
Okay.
70% of women screened twice in their lifetime, and 90% of women with cervical disease receiving treatment.
Wow. It's a roadmap to a future where cervical cancer is a rarity, not a threat.
It's very inspiring to see such a bold vision, to achieve those targets would be a monumental achievement,
It would.
especially considering that, cervical cancer is currently the fourth most common cancer in women globally.
Absolutely. But the path to elimination isn't without its obstacles.
Right.
There are significant disparities in access to care, particularly in low and middle income countries, where screening rates remain alarmingly low.
Yeah, one of the sources said less than 5% of women in these regions have ever been screened for cervical cancer.
Wow.
That's a really powerful statistic. It
Right.
really highlights the urgency of addressing these inequalities.
It does.
So what would you say are the main barriers to achieving those 90-70-90 targets?
It's a complex web of factors, really.
Okay.
Insufficient funding for national screening programs, limited healthcare infrastructure, workforce shortages, and sociocultural barriers all play a role.
So it's a very multifaceted problem.
It is.
Yeah. Addressing these challenges requires a multi-pronged approach and a global commitment to equity and access.
It's a sobering reminder that progress isn't always linear, and there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
But amidst these challenges, there are some glimmers of hope.
Yeah.
Our sources highlighted some incredible strides being made in cervical cancer detection,
Right.
particularly with the use of artificial intelligence.
Right.
Now, this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
AI-powered tools are revolutionizing the way we screen for and diagnose cervical cancer.
You're absolutely right.
What do you think is the most exciting advancement in this area?
Well, AI is emerging as a very potent force in the field of, cervical cancer detection.
Oh.
Deep learning algorithms are being used to analyze cervical cytology images with remarkable accuracy,
Okay.
sometimes exceeding 97% in detecting precancerous changes.
Wow, 97%. That's a big jump in accuracy.
It is. One of the most groundbreaking developments is the use of AI to predict the likelihood of a high-risk HPV infection progressing to cervical cancer.
Predicting the course of the disease. That sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
It does feel futuristic.
Yeah.
These AI-powered models analyze various factors like the specific HPV type, a person's medical history, and even genetic information to assess the risk of progression.
So it's not just about detecting those abnormalities.
Right.
It's actually forecasting the future of the disease.
Exactly.
Incredible. How accurate are these predictive models?
Well, the accuracy is continually improving as the models are refined
Okay.
and trained on larger data sets. But even in their early stages, they're proving to be valuable tools for healthcare professionals.
Yeah.
providing insights that can guide personalized treatment decisions.
So it's like having a crystal ball that can help us anticipate and potentially even prevent cervical cancer.
In a way, yes, this technology is truly revolutionary.
It is. It seems like AI could be a game changer in addressing those screening disparities we were talking about earlier, especially in areas with limited access to trained cytotechnologists.
Precisely, AI has the potential to bridge those gaps in healthcare access
Right.
and empower healthcare professionals with an additional layer of insight and precision.
Yeah.
And its applications extend beyond cytology.
Oh.
AI algorithms are also being used to interpret colposcopy images, providing a more detailed view of the cervix.
So it's not just about replacing human expertise,
No.
but augmenting it.
Right.
AI can act as a powerful tool to enhance decision-making and ultimately improve outcomes for patients.
Exactly, and this is just the beginning. AI is rapidly evolving, and its potential in healthcare is only just starting to be realized.
That's really exciting.
It is. As with any powerful tool, it's important to use AI responsibly and ethically.
Right.
We need to ensure that these advancements benefit everyone, not just a select few.
I couldn't agree. More equity and accessibility are paramount.
Absolutely.
We need to ensure that these tools are developed and deployed in a way that addresses existing disparities and expands access to quality care for all.
Absolutely.
So it's not about AI taking over healthcare,
No.
but rather about AI empowering healthcare professionals to make more informed decisions
Exactly.
and provide better care for their patients. Speaking of potential, we can't forget about the cornerstone of cervical cancer prevention,
Yes.
the HPV vaccine.
Right.
It's amazing so we have a vaccine that can protect against a cancer.
It is.
Your sources mention that there are a few different types of HPV vaccines.
Right.
Can you break those down for us?
Of course. So we have HPV-2, which specifically targets HPV types 16 and 18.
Okay.
The two types responsible for about 70% of cervical cancers.
Okay.
Then there's HPV-4, which provides broader protection by targeting HPV types 6 and 11, the primary causes of genital warts,
Got it.
in addition to 16 and 18.
So it sounds like HPV-4 is the better option.
Well, it depends on what your doctor recommends for you.
Okay.
But there's also HPV-9,
Okay.
which is the most comprehensive vaccine currently available.
Wow.
It targets 9 HPV types, adding protection against 5 additional cancer-causing strains.
Wow. So HPV-9 is the most powerful shield we have against cervical cancer.
It offers the widest protection, but the specific vaccine recommended for you might vary.
Okay.
Based on factors like your age and any previous HPV exposure.
Right.
It's always best to consult with your healthcare provider for personalized guidance.
That's a good point. Speaking of personalized guidance, let's delve into the HPV vaccine schedule.
Okay.
Our sources mentioned that there are different recommendations based on age.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Certainly for individuals aged 9 to 14,
Okay.
the standard recommendation is a 2-dose schedule,
Okay.
with the doses given 6 months apart.
Right.
For those aged 15 and older,
Uh-huh.
the standard is a 3-dose schedule.
Okay.
The first dose is given,
Right.
followed by the second dose 1 to 2 months later,
Okay.
and then the third dose 6 months after the initial dose.
So a little more spread out for older individuals.
Yes.
Are there any exceptions to those general recommendations?
Yes, for immunocompromised individuals, regardless of age.
Okay.
A 3-dose schedule is recommended to ensure their immune systems have the best chance of mounting a robust response.
That makes sense. It sounds like getting the timing right is important for maximizing the vaccine's effectiveness.
Absolutely. And another important consideration is the potential for side effects.
Right.
Fortunately, side effects from the HPV vaccine are typically mild and temporary.
That's good to hear.
Right.
What are some of the common side effects people might experience?
The most frequent ones are pain, redness, or swelling at the injection site,
Right.
similar to other vaccines.
Got it.
Some people might experience mild systemic effects like headaches, low-grade fever, or fatigue, but these usually subside within a few days.
So nothing too concerning.
Exactly. Severe allergic reactions are extremely rare,
Okay.
and healthcare providers are well equipped to handle any adverse events that may occur.
Good.
It's important to remember that the potential benefits of preventing cervical cancer and other HPV-related cancers
Right.
far outweigh the risks of these mild and temporary side effects.
That's reassuring to know. It seems like the HPV vaccine is a really powerful tool in our fight against cervical cancer.
It is. Yeah. It's fascinating how research is continually evolving our understanding of the HPV vaccine.
Right.
For example, there's growing evidence suggesting that the protection offered by the vaccine could last even longer than initially thought.
Longer than those 10 to 11 years we were talking about.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. So what's the latest thinking on that?
Well, some studies suggest that the HPV vaccine might provide lifelong protection,
Wow.
potentially eliminating the need for booster shots altogether.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
But I imagine more research is needed before we can definitively say that, boosters are unnecessary.
Absolutely. Research is ongoing to monitor long-term protection.
Okay.
But the current data is incredibly promising. And even more encouraging are the findings related to single-dose HPV vaccination.
Yeah, that was another thing in the materials that you sent that really caught my eye.
Yeah.
The idea of a single dose providing long-term protection. That sounds pretty amazing.
It does. A long-term study in Costa Rica showed that a single dose of the HPV vaccine offered protection for at least 11 years.
Wow.
The antibody levels in those who received a single dose remained robust, comparable to those seen in the early years following vaccination.
That's remarkable, just one dose, providing over a decade of protection.
Right.
Could this change the way we approach HPV vaccination?
Potentially, it could revolutionize global vaccination efforts.
Wow.
Especially in areas with limited resources
Right.
or where multi-dose schedules are difficult to implement.
Yeah.
Imagine the impact if we could achieve widespread protection with just a single dose.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
But for now, I guess we should probably stick with the recommended 2 or 3 dose schedules.
Right.
Depending on age.
It's always best to follow the guidance of healthcare professionals and the current recommendations from health authorities.
Right. And speaking of recommendations, let's revisit that 3-dose schedule for a moment.
Okay.
It can get a little confusing when it comes to the timing of that 3rd dose.
Uh-huh.
I remember reading about some uncertainty around that.
Yeah, you're right. There is sometimes confusion around that.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, the 3rd dose is given 6 months after the 1st dose.
Okay.
Not the 2nd.
So it's not 6 months after completing those initial 2 doses.
Correct. It's important to remember that the intervals between the doses are key.
Got it. So the standard schedule is 0, 2, and 6 months, with some flexibility in the timing of that 2nd dose.
Exactly.
Which can be given between 1 and 2 months after the 1st.
Exactly. And regardless of the specific schedule, that 3rd dose should always be given at least 4 months after the 2nd dose.
Okay.
And at least 5 months after the initial dose.
Okay, that makes sense. But what happens if someone misses a dose, or if, life gets in the way and their schedule gets thrown off?
There's no need to worry.
Okay.
There's no need to restart the entire series if a dose is missed.
Okay, good.
The missed dose can be given as soon as possible.
Okay.
And the remaining doses can be administered to complete the schedule.
That's good to know. It makes catching up much less daunting.
Right.
So to kind of summarize what we've learned so far, there are multiple ways to contribute to medical research.
Uh-huh.
The fight against cervical cancer is a global effort with its own set of challenges and, exciting advancements.
Right.
The HPV vaccine offers really strong protection with a pretty flexible schedule.
Yeah.
And early detection is key. Do you add anything to that?
I think you've covered it well.
Okay, good. It's really inspiring to see how researchers are digging deeper into the nuances of the HPV vaccine.
Right.
One area that really stood out to me was the research on 2-dose vaccination schedules.
Yeah.
It seems like there's growing evidence supporting their effectiveness.
There is, yeah. Studies have shown that 2 doses of the 9-valent HPV vaccine given 6 months apart can provide robust protection against HPV infection for at least 20 years.
20 years. Wow, that's a significant chunk of time.
It is.
And what about the potential for even longer lasting protection with 2 doses?
Well, research suggests that if 2 doses offer such durable protection, the additional benefit of a 3rd dose is likely to be minimal, especially in certain age groups.
So for some individuals, 2 doses might be just as effective as 3.
That's what the research seems to indicate.
Wow.
However, it's crucial to emphasize that the standard recommendations from health authorities may still vary.
Right.
Always consult with your healthcare provider for personalized guidance based on your individual circumstances.
That's a good point. Personalized medicine is becoming increasingly important.
Yeah.
Speaking of personalized approaches, we can't wrap up this deep dive without revisiting that incredible potential of AI in revolutionizing healthcare.
Absolutely. We've touched on AI's role in improving cervical cancer detection.
Right.
But its applications extend far beyond that.
It really does feel like AI is ushering in a new era of healthcare.
It is.
Possibilities.
And one of the most exciting frontiers is the use of AI to predict the likelihood of a high-risk HPV infection progressing to cervical cancer.
Yeah, predicting the future of disease. It sounds so futuristic.
It is cutting-edge technology.
Yeah.
These AI-powered models analyze various factors like the specific HPV type, a person's medical history, and even genetic information to assess the risk of progression.
So it's about moving beyond simply detecting abnormalities.
Right.
And actually forecasting the potential course of the disease.
Exactly.
That's incredible. So how accurate are these predictive models?
Well, the accuracy is continually improving as these models are refined and trained on larger data sets.
Okay.
But even at this stage, they're proving to be invaluable tools, offering insights that can guide personalized treatment decisions and potentially lead to earlier interventions. Yeah.
But with any powerful technology, it's crucial to use it responsibly and ethically.
Of course.
We need to ensure that these advancements benefit everyone, not just a select few.
I couldn't agree. More equity and accessibility are paramount.
Absolutely.
We need to ensure that these tools are developed and deployed in a way that addresses existing disparities and expands access to quality care for all.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the latest research on the HPV vaccine to the groundbreaking potential of AI in healthcare.
We have.
It's been a really fascinating deep dive into the world of medical research and cervical cancer prevention.
It has.
We've learned about the different ways to contribute to research, explored the latest advancements in prevention and detection,
Right.
and delved into the potential of AI to really revolutionize healthcare.
Yes, and we've highlighted the importance of equity and access.
Yeah.
Ensuring that everyone benefits from these groundbreaking advancements.
Exactly. We've covered a lot of ground, but I believe we've equipped you with some valuable knowledge and insights to help you navigate this complex landscape.
Hopefully we have.
Yeah, and hopefully we've sparked your curiosity to learn more.
Yeah.
And perhaps even take action.
Absolutely.
Whether it's contributing to research, supporting awareness campaigns, or simply having those important conversations with your loved ones.
Right.
Every effort counts.
It does.
Considering all we've discussed today, what step will you take to become a part of the solution?
It's a question that invites reflection and action.
It is.
And remember, you're not alone in this journey.
Right.
There's a whole community of people out there who are passionate about making a difference.
So connect, collaborate, and let's work together to create a healthier future for everyone. I hope you feel empowered to make informed decisions about your health and to play an active role in shaping the future of healthcare.
I hope so too.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of medical research and cervical cancer. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.
Bye.